Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley. Glad you stopped here today. I am talking about the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera Palette, and she looks just like this. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. So the box is the same theme as the outer packaging of the palette, and then when you turn around on the back, you do have a picture of the palette and all the ingredients of the palette. Now, a couple of the shades are also known as pressed pigments. So meaning like you just want to be careful with them so they can cause extra staining on the eye. Or if you're a person who's sensitive to pressed pigments, you do have to be aware about that because those shades can cause irritation. Not to mention they're usually not approved by the FDA for eye use. So they're pressed pigments and that's how they get away with it, putting it in eyeshadow palettes. So the shades that are pressed pigments are Bahamas, Cannes, and Palm. Those shades are the pressed pigments, and then I will also point them out once we start swatching the palette. So let's go ahead and open up this bad boy. I have not done so yet, and I just thought like the outer packaging was so pretty, and you know, it tells you all the information on the back about Anastasia being cruelty free, about the package being recyclable, and that, you know, Anastasia Beverly Hills is distributed in Los Angeles, California, and that the palette is good for 18 months was opened. And so here's the palette here, and it is a cloth material. It's a canvas, and I really like the material of this palette. Now we know Anastasia is not a stranger to doing you know, a canvas or some type of suede like material on the cover of our palette. So I really do like how this looks. It kind of reminds me of like a denim, how this is on here, and I think the packaging is so stinking cute. I love blue and white stripes. I love black and white stripes. I like this whole nautical thing. I'm digging it, and the inside of the palette I think is even more gorgeous. So when you turn around, there is just a little sticker here with more of the ingredients and how much the net weight of the palette is, and it says it's 0.73 grams or 0.025 ounces each. And like I said, again, it just shows where it's distributed by, and it's cruelty free, safe for the eyes, recyclable, and good for 18 months like we just went over. The palette costs $45 and it's available now. So I picked this up from the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, and they released on their website on March 4th, which was Monday. Today is the 6th, so Wednesday, and the palette will be online in stores and most major retailers that Anastasia can be found on March 7th, and it will also start shipping in stores on March 7th. That's according to the Anastasia Instagram page. So they said that, you know, be coming out to the stores like your Sephora and your Ulta or any other places you might be able to pick up Anastasia Beverly Hills really soon. I believe Macy's usually carries Anastasia Beverly Hills also. So usually, you know, they roll out a palette, they'll put it on their website, but it'll take maybe like 2 to 3 weeks before it hits, you know, Sephora, Ulta, those retailers. So this is once again the packaging, the outer packaging. I'm just digging it. And once you open up the palette, the brush was falling out. So I'm just going to pull the brush out. Anastasia usually gives us a brush. Just going to pop that out so it doesn't fall out. And then you have this nice little protector from the shadow. You know, these little things. They're in every palette. You have a mirror right here, and you have this bright blue background. This just reminds me of the water, and this is what the palette looks like. I don't want to blind you. When I say this color scheme is so pretty, when I just happened to like open up my Instagram and this was the first thing that came up on my feed, excuse me, and I was just like, yes, 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 and yes. This is cute, okay? So let's go ahead and get into some swatches. I do have a little bit of makeup on from when I went to work earlier. I took off my eye makeup because I was like, yes, we have to play with this palette. So right here we have 2, 4, 6. We have 6 shimmers and the rest are matte. So we have 2, 4, 6. We have 8 mattes. So this one right here at the top is the matte, and the rest of the top row are shimmers. And then down here we have our matte shadows. And I'm really digging the pink Bahamas, which is one of the shades that's known as pressed pigment. So it's Cannes, which is right here, where it's the purple, and then Palm, which is this dark brown. And then we have some neuter shades right here, like our light transition shades that are, you know, peachy tone right here. And then we have this gorgeous mustard tone. and which is kind of popping up in a lot of palettes as of lately. And then we have a white right here. So I think the palette is super unique. I think it's still neutral enough where people who just kind of want to dip their toe in color can still, you know, kind of dip their toe in color and be excited about it. So let's get swatching. Okay, so we're going to start with the first 3 shades. And as you know, Anastasia's shimmers can be a little soft. So I'm going to start with Mediterranean. Then we have Inheritance. Making sure I'm not covering up any of my other swatches. It's kind of hard to swatch this way, guys. And then we have Seaside. And they are soft, but I don't think they're overly soft, at least not yet at this moment. Okay, next we have Palermo. Then we have Seychelles. Oh man, that's pretty. And then we have Yacht. So the next shade we have Sails. It's that matte white. We have Palm. Nice deep brown. And then we have Cons. The next shade we have is Monte Carlo. Then we have Bahamas. That nice bright pink. And they actually don't feel very gritty. And then we have Coastline. The mattes feel pretty smooth, especially the shade Monte Carlo, which is this shade right here. And we're almost at my elbow, but you know what else is new. And then the next 2 shades we have is Cabana and Estate. And I'm at my elbow. And these are the swatches. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I have my eyelids primed with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. And I was like looking at this palette, here it is up close. I was like, what do I want to do? I don't know. I feel like I always use blue on my channel, blue or green, especially when there's a colorful look. I'm just like, the colors, they're jumping out at me. So, I don't know. We'll see where we go. So I have my Sephora Pro number 10 crease brush right here. And I'm going to dip in with the shade Monte Carlo right here. And this shade, it felt so nice. It is powdery. You know, Anastasia's shadows are, you know, let's see if we can get it to come up. There is a lot of kick up in the pan with it. You know, you have to kind of be careful. Her shadows are a lot softer. I'm just going to go ahead, blend this back and forth. Ooh, okay, she's pretty pigmented. That's good to know. You know, as long as it's not like Subculture. Oh boy. You know, that almost took folks out. And I'm just gonna like gently, when I go back in, just gently picking up the fallout that came out. So I'm just going back and forth. That picked up very well, really easily. I did not set my primer. I can't say it was totally tacky though. I'm just gonna go in like one more time. Wow. Okay. Yes, this is Monte Carlo, guys. I wonder what this shade Bahamas will look like, but this is the shade we're using first. And super pigmented. Okay. So now I want to go ahead and I'm going to take my Sephora crease brush on a magnetic line. I'm going to dip into Cans, stamp it here. Ooh, that purple is nice. I feel like I've been using purple so much. I used purple in my last video, but you know. That is a nice gradient. It is just... And I don't know if you guys know, and I've said it before, no stranger, if you're, you know, like this is nothing like new. Like, you know, Anastasia, Shadows and I, we don't always get along very well. I think the first palette that she and I really got along with was, I get along with Soft Glam, but Norvina is really my jam. But yeah, Decluttered, Modern Renaissance, don't come from me. I decluttered it. But that purple layered so well over that pink. And Cons is a pressed pigment, okay? Just keep that in mind. So there might be a little staining action, but I'm not too worried. I'm just gonna go back in. I'm like, ooh, that was so simple. Simple Sam. And we still have that first shade there, Monte Carlo. Just gonna go in back with a tiny bit more. I'm taking off my brush, so just re-intensify the pink right there. This is pretty. Okay. Now I'm like, what to do with this little outer V? I definitely don't want to bring that purple right there, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I have my Sephora Pro glitter liner, and I like to use these to pick up my shimmer shadows, especially with the Anastasia palette, because they can be very soft. And this is a silicone applicator. Got this from Sephora. It comes like 2 in a pack. So super useful with her shadows, and it helps. This is the smaller one. It comes with a bigger one, but I'm gonna go in with the color Seychelles right here. Color is super pretty, and it looks like this once I get on the applicator. And I'm gonna go ahead, and it's like you get max pigmentation. So these are like really good on the shadows that, you know, you might need to use your finger with, but I'm not a big fan of that. That color is so pretty. I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit so it goes over my fold. And then I'm gonna like lift my eyelids up because I have some little folds right there, you know. So I think these are still soft like Norvina, but I think these are not as soft as Norvina. They're definitely soft. Okay, and I'm just gonna like wipe that applicator off with a makeup wipe. So easy to clean. See? And then sometimes I do just kind of dry it off if I don't want it to like go into the pan wet or damp. Just dry it off with my little makeup towel that I use right here. Okay, and now I'm gonna take the shade Mediterranean. It's like, are you gonna focus? There we go. So that's Mediterranean. I was like, the blues were calling my name, the purple was calling my name, the pink was. I am still like shocked about this shade Monte Carlo. Like, that's the very first shade. And we did have a little bit of fallout. I'm just layering the shade. Yep. Because like I said, the shades are soft, so probably want to do your base first. And I'm just gonna fuse Seychelles and, oh sorry, Seychelles and Mediterranean together. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit more. This blue is so pretty. I don't think I have a blue that's quite like this. Okay, I do have a little bit of fallout, but I will get that up in a second. You see right here, especially Mediterranean. Like I said, shadows are soft, but I think these are not as soft as Norvina, so they stick a little bit easier. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with that same crease brush, and I think I'm gonna go in just a tiny bit with Cons. That is this purple shade right here. I am gonna put a tiny bit in that crease just to give it a little bit more intensity. I'm just gonna stamp it right here on the outside where we put Mediterranean. No big deal, just stamping a little bit right there. And it's kind of covering up some, but it's making that purple super intense right there. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in with my MAC 224 and make sure like everything is blended out. It's okay. And I think I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of, let's take a little bit of coastline right here so we can make sure that Monte Carlo, I'm gonna tap off my brush. You know, it's lots of, you know, Anastasia palettes, they're pretty dusty. So I'm gonna take a little bit of coastline to make sure that Monte Carlo is blended out, since it's such a pigmented color just right here, so it won't be such a harsh line. I was not ready. Okay, so I really want to see what Bahamas is going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Sephora drawing shadow brush. It is a very fine pointed brush. I'm going to take a little bit of Bahamas because I just got to see what it's going to do now at this point. It's like, and I'm going to tap off and you see all the pigment there right there, and I'm just going to go over the crease right here because I just want to see. Oh yeah, it's really bright. And it did add a little bit. It might be hard to see on camera, but it did add an extra layer of intensity. I'm just going to pick up a little bit more. And I'm going to go back in with that Sephora glitter liner right here and take a tiny bit more of Seychelles because I covered up a little bit. With Bahamas by accident. There, flipping it over, just re-intensifying Mediterranean, just knocking off the excess here because you can definitely pick up too much. That is pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I finished my other eye, put my lashes on. I'm wearing the Kiss little black dress, and I'm wearing Jilted, no, I am wearing Firebird lipstick by Urban Decay along with that lip liner. And I'm wearing my Juvia's Place highlighter from the Tribe collection. And so I'm going to take this little pencil brush and we're going to finish up the eyes. So we're going to go ahead and do a little, let's see, little inner corner highlight action. I'm going to go ahead with the shade Yacht because it's more of like a softer brown right here. Just going to dab it right here and then we'll blend it out. So I'm going to blend it up into that pink. This Yacht color is gorgeous. Okay, so I have Yacht in there, and now I want to take Seaside right here, and I'm just going to go underneath the lash line. I'm just going to tap it off so I don't get too much fallout. And this is the same brush, Pearls Precision Smudge number 29 by Sephora. Gonna run this under the lash line right here, and just so it sticks a little bit better and we don't have any fallout, I'm gonna go ahead and wet it with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray right here. There we go. Yep, that made all the difference. And then I'm gonna make sure it kind of connects into this area right here. Hey, so pretty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my mascara using the ColourPop Black on Black mascara today. Look, I ain't even had it that long. Look, the stars and the little everything just gone. You don't even know what this is. You didn't know it was ColourPop mascara. Go ahead and try to hit these bottom lashes. Okay, the face you have to make to do that is crazy. Like, I don't want to hit myself in my eye, anything, so. The look is done. What do you think? I'm going to zoom out in just a second, but this is the look. Okay, I am back, and this is the final look. I think it is so pretty. I'm just kind of like looking in my mirror, just the colors. Okay, so one would think if you just saw me like in a picture, you would think I went in with that shade Bahamas like a lot as my main transition color, but as you guys saw in the tutorial, it was actually the shade Monte Carlo. I was just very surprised about that pigmentation. That shade felt very buttery and smooth to the touch. I mean, you do get quite a bit of kick out when you apply these shadows. That's kind of being expected with the Anastasia formula, so you make sure you go in with a light hand. This is definitely a very beautiful palette. Cons, that pressed purple was so easy to work with, and that's not very, like, that's not very easy to find. That's what I want to say when it comes to a purple shadow, just in general, especially a matte purple shadow. They tend to be very patchy. They tend to be like not very pigmented, and when you go to blend it out, it just like blends into nothing. So I think the colors of it is so pretty. I think one color I would like to have seen in this palette was maybe a dark blue, maybe a navy blue instead of palm. But I can understand why the brown is in there. You probably needed to like appeal to more people. But I think this, if we had like a navy blue matte in here, that would have been perfect to go along with the theme of this palette. And then, but I do like with the shimmer shades that they're all not basically the same, because if you guys remember in the Norvina palette, most of like 3 or 4 of the shimmer shades were pretty much almost the same shade. They had a little different hint, so they had a little different hint of shades or undertones when you looked at them, but especially like Summer, I want to say Dreamer, and then one other shade, they all had that cool tone shift to it. Maybe one was a tiny bit warmer of it, but most of the shimmer shades were pretty much the same in that palette. There were a lot of comparable shades, but I find with this particular palette, like, we just have that one bright gold, which is like not unexpected for this palette, and I think it kind of suits this palette well, because just going along with the theme, Riviera, sailing, yacht life, you kind of need that gold. But then this shade Decay is a nice coppery peachy warm tan gold shade, so you do get a lot of different variety when you look between that type of gold, because especially like Inheritance, you know, that's a super bright in your face gold, where Yacht is more toned down. You know, it's a little bit more workable in certain situations. But I think Mediterranean is so beautiful. I think that's like a very unique color to my collection. Bahamas, I did just kind of like trace it on the outside, and it just really picked up nice even over Monte Carlo. So far, I'm really impressed with this palette. I'm really going to enjoy playing with this. I think the palette, like the packaging, it gets an A for me. The formula is so nice. I think that the shimmer shades are very nice, and they're vibrant, but they're soft, but they're not as soft as usually the Anastasia formula is. Sometimes that formula could just be a little too soft, where it's very hard to pick up on a brush and to get that color payoff, versus like when you're just dipping your finger in and swatching, you're like, well, why can I not achieve that same type of look on my eyes with those particular shimmers? But I think she did an excellent job with this palette. And I'm definitely going to bring you guys some more looks with this palette, because, I mean, I didn't play with Bahamas. I did not play with this color here. I did not play with Palermo. I used Seaside, which is beautiful underneath on my eyelash line. And I think the palette is gorgeous. I mean, I don't know what to say. So far, I'm a fan. I think this is one of the more exciting releases that's come out this spring. You know, like the February and the January releases are like, okay, all right. But the spring releases are coming through, and I think this palette is so nice, and I'm so happy I got it in my collection. I think it's going to be a good, fun pop of color palette, and a lot of people I think will actually like it, because a lot of people do generally like the Anastasia. I keep saying like. A lot of people do generally like the Anastasia formula and find it something easy to work with. So if you're not a big fan of color, but you know, like, okay, this is a formula that I can grasp, that I'm very comfortable using, this might be a palette for you. Or if you just want something fun, a pop of staple color, but then you still have a couple of shades where they're not totally out there with this palette, I think it will work with you. And do have some bold colors that maybe you could just throw underneath the eyelash line, maybe stick them in your inner corner. You know, just different ways to just kind of dip your toe into color or dip your foot in the water, you know. So I'm just really digging this theme. Like I said, I think it's just going to be used maybe 1 or 2 different little colors here and there, but overall I'm really liking this palette. So let me know what you think about the palette down below. Did you pick up this release? Are you like, no, that's not for me? But let me know down in the comments because I would like to know. And give this video a big thumbs up and turn on your notification bell so you know when I post another video, which will be very soon. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I will talk to you later. And I'm going to hit my chair dance at the end. Because you know, that's what I got to do. Kill them with the shoulders. I'll see y'all later. Bye.